Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the latest Mintlayer community call. My name is Sam Patton, and I am in charge of the marketing team here at Mintlayer. And today I'm joined by our CEO, Enrico Rubboli, and Chief Technical Officer, Ben Marsh. Good afternoon, guys. How are we today?
Hi. Actually, we are together here in Abu Dhabi.
Okay. What are you doing in Abu Dhabi today?
So we decided to meet up to work on a few different things. So we're looking at a roadmap and what we're going to be doing in the future, and we're discussing a few of the more technical things. So we've been spending some time sat together in a room looking at the consensus and things like this. The more in-depth problems that we have to solve, it's just easier if we're sat together. The conversation flows more easily, and it just makes life a little bit easier. So we're here for best part of a week to just sit and try and go through things as possible.
Fantastic. Well, that's great to hear. All right. So look, thanks for taking the time out. Now, I know obviously you guys have got clearly a busy week ahead of you. You're tackling some quite in-depth topics there. But I do thank you for jumping on today. Now, look, basically, purpose of this call, for those of you who are listening at home, is to just do a bit of a roundup, a bit of an update about the things that have been happening at Mintlayer over the last month. We've had, yet again, quite another busy month. And so what I would like to do is just go through everything that's been happening. So the things that I want to take us through today and what's on the agenda for this call, we'll go through some announcements, a recap of the last development update, because it has been some time since we all got together for a call. What we've been working on currently, okay, so for the last month, and there's a few tasks that have sort of carried through from last month into this month as well. What's coming next, and of course, at the end, we will have opportunities to take your questions. So let's dive into the announcements. Now, as I said, it has been a busy month since the last time that we all got together. And I guess the noteworthy announcements that have happened within the last 30 days or so, the big one has been the Lightning Network integration with Mojito, which is now live, fortunately on Android, and after a slight delay, which seems to be par for the course when it comes to all things Apple. The Lightning Network is also live on iOS as well. Anything did you want to add about Lightning Network, guys? Enrico, you and I had a call about that when that launched. For those of you who missed the call, do you want to just give us a little bit of an update about what that's all about?
So basically, the Bitcoin wallet, the Mojito wallet, is now capable of handling transactions that are not broadcasted to the Bitcoin blockchain. This is the whole point of Lightning Network. This allows users to basically send Bitcoin through a peer-to-peer network that is the Lightning Network without a settlement on the blockchain. That means that transactions are instant and cheap, extremely cheap. And exactly. So fees are extremely low. Transactions are very fast, and this is what we think that Mintlayer will be all about, right? So the focus on Lightning Network is very important for us, because we think that the Lightning Network will be the future for a lot of things, from exchanges to even more complicated applications. The problem of Lightning Network today is that is basically only Bitcoin. What we are trying to do is to bring to the Lightning Network different tokens.
Right. And I think there's obviously a lot of similarities between what we're actually doing here at Mintlayer and how that how things operate on the Lightning Network. And so really, it's an exciting technology, and one that's great to be able to have directly in Mojito. I mean, for me personally, I think it's one of these things that Lightning really does sort of seem to unlock more of, I guess, there's obviously a lot of benefits to it, but even to utilize in a day-to-day sort of fashion, right? We always sort of come back to the idea of it, but you could buy a cup of coffee.
The old idea of buying a coffee, right? Which is impossible today.
Yeah. Exactly. And so that really brings it home. So that's it's quite a big thing. And if you already got Mojito installed, all you need to do is make sure you download or update to the latest version of that, and you'll have the opportunity in there to create a Lightning Network wallet, and that is live and ready to go now. So very exciting. And if you don't have Mojito, we'll pop a link into Telegram. On YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, to give you the opportunity to jump in and download that as well. Okay, moving on. And this is a little premature, but I'm going to announce it anyway because we're going to be talking about this, within the next week. Fingers crossed. The browser extension. So if you've been on the last couple of our community calls, you will have been aware that we've been working on a browser extension version of Mojito. And I'm happy to announce that we are just in the final stages of actually having that ready to go live. So what that means is that you can have Mojito directly in your web browser. We will be having that available on a couple of different browsers. Ben, off the top of your head, which browsers are we having Mojito coming live to?
So it will be released on Firefox, Chrome, Brave, and Edge to start with.
Okay, excellent.
So
all of the good ones. I'm probably going to get into troubles for saying that, but the ones that everybody seems to use at least anyway, which is where our focus obviously goes. Exactly. Yeah, we'll get there. Cool. Anything else, guys, as far as announcements? I think that's sort of the big things that have happened this month, at least from the marketing team's point. I think that's kind of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Okay, great. All right. Now, before we jump into sort of the stuff that we've been working on, I want to take a moment now to just give a quick recap of our last development update, particularly for those of you who haven't sort of seen the recap that we did or read the post or anything like that. But essentially, the last development update, we had a couple of different things that were going on. So first, the mobile. Now, we have been doing some investigation into integrating Mojito with hardware wallets. Ben, do you want to just give a little bit of context on sort of what the thinking is behind here and perhaps what the longer term vision is for integrating the mobile with hardware wallets? What that means for the users at home?
Yes. So, I mean, the idea is that hardware wallets are a more secure way to store your cryptocurrency. So adding hardware wallet support to our wallets, our products will allow users to, if they already have a hardware wallet, to move on to Mojito if they decided they wanted to. And people who start using Mojito, if they decide they want to have a hardware wallet in the future, then it will be a possibility right off the bat. So this is still an ongoing thing. It's going on in the background at the moment. But yeah, this is an ongoing thing.
Okay. What just off the top of your head, what wallets, or if you can tell me what hardware wallets in particular we're looking at sort of integrating with?
So the first one we're going to aim for is Ledger support.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Cool. And I'm sure that there'll be much more coming down the line with that in the future as well. Now, also on the mobile front, as is always the case, there's just been some general performance enhancements that have been applied to that as well, which have rolled out into this latest update. Moving on to the web version of Mojito, again, which we've just touched on, we are getting to the pointy end of that. But the first successful transactions for that have been sent from the testnet already. So at this stage, and I was on a call with the browser extension team last week. It's all very promising at this point, and we hope to make an announcement about the release of that within the next week. I'm optimistic that that's going to happen at this point. We just need to basically get that package finalized and then set off into the relevant web stores and stuff like that as well. So that is all on track. The core development. Now, we are going to be talking about this coming up here as well. I'm just checking my notes, but we had, there was an update in particular to the Genesis block. And perhaps one of you two can just explain to the users who weren't on our last call what that was and what that means as far as Mintlayer goes and how it differs from sort of other blockchains.
So the idea was we just separated out the Genesis block from a standard block. So we have a separate type. Yeah, so it's essentially just a security feature. Yeah.
So yeah, because there's only ever going to be one Genesis block, right? That's the that was the thinking behind there. Yeah. Okay, cool. And some updates to the token standards. MLS1, I think, was the one that we were looking at in particular there. Again, guys, if you haven't seen this, we have a text recap. You can find it in the news section on the Mintlayer website, where we've got sort of a full recap of everything that's here. The last thing that we had done was some updates to a peer-to-peer inside of the consensus mechanism as well. But I don't want to spend too much time on that because I want to get into the stuff that we've actually been working on at the moment. So there has been a bunch of stuff happening of late. So let's jump into that here now. Now, I think what the easiest way to do this, guys, I've got a list of topics here to run through here. So I'll rattle through them. And if you can just sort of explain to the listeners at home what specifically we're talking about here, that's probably the best way to get everything across. So I know that in the web, there's been some further testing going on with that. I don't think we need to spend too much time on that. But at this stage, it's my understanding that the final features for the release are finished at this point. So there is, and I'm just trying to remember what the team was saying. I believe that the reason, or the one thing that was causing a little more time with the development here was there was a challenge with respect to getting feature parity in the BTC addresses here. Is that right, Ben? Are you familiar with what the team was working on here?
We added to the web wallet was essentially matching the address types that we had in the mobile wallet.
That's correct.
Yeah. It would all be available in the web wallet as well. So yeah, that code is essentially under test at the moment. So this is the last thing we're doing. So when we say further testing, we're doing two things realistically. One is testing these last few features we've added to ensure they work properly before we go and release the code. And we're also adding more functional tests to this thing, so we can ensure that everything, not just those addresses, but the entire product is doing exactly what we're expecting it to do. So they're sort of a longer-term goal, these short-term testing things that we're doing at the moment.
So that you can share your seed between your wallet and your browser extension. So from the mobile wallet, and you can expect everything to be the same.
Yeah, exactly.
To be lined up.
That's awesome.
Excellent. Great. Okay, excellent. Fantastic. And of course, the last thing on my list here is preparing for the public release, which again, we've sort of alluded to. All going well.
Usually it's boring stuff like, privacy policy, this kind of things.
Yeah. And there's a few bits and pieces that we need to prepare just in order to get them into, the Mozilla store, Chrome store, and so forth. Get those packages updated. But but everything's on track at this point. So I expect to have some good news for everybody next week. So keep an eye on Telegram and on Twitter for the announcements of that. We would love to share what we've been working on here with you all, and we really think you're going to enjoy what we've put together from the browser extension perspective. Okay, moving on. Now, again, we sort of touched on this, but when it comes to mobile, we mentioned at the start of the call. Lightning Network is now stable in the mobile wallet, so that is it's a big win. Now I know there's been a few small bug fixes that have been carried out in the mobile wallet, and you guys have started some work on
for testing because he found a lot of stuff that is not straightforward and is helping us making the browser wallet, the mobile wallet, extremely reliable.
Yeah. Which, of course, when it comes to wallets, any sort of wallets, any sort of crypto, we need to make sure that everything is reliable there. So, and I know that he's been doing some great work on that front. And you guys have started work on features for the next release. So, care to share a little bit about what that is encompassing?
Yeah, of course. So, we've been doing two things, I suppose, for the next release. One is we've been doing some more testing on it. So we've been writing some functional tests that when we start adding these new features, we can verify we don't change the behavior of anything that currently exists. And the sort of next big key feature we started working on is going to be user inputted entropy. So when you are creating your wallet, you will be able to provide some of the randomness. So it gives people that sort of faith and security, I suppose, that they are involved in that process when you're generating a private key.
This is like more advanced feature, right? So I don't expect.
Yeah, this will be an optional feature. So when you generate a wallet in Mojito in the future, you will be able to do this the standard way, exactly as it works today. Or if you decide you want to use this user inputted entropy, you will be able to opt into that. So it's not something I expect everyone to use, but it will be there for those who are more security.
It's there Sure. And now this is actually quite an interesting topic, and I would like to share a little bit about this, perhaps for people who haven't experienced or have any kind of insight into what we're talking about here. But in the context of user generated entropy, there is in more, as you said, advanced, I guess, security circles and so forth. There's an ongoing discussion about random number generators, as I understand it, right? There's random number generators, and how truly random are they? And so the concept behind user-generated entropy is that it's something that I would do. So I create some nonce. Please stop me if I'm talking if I'm not talking about this correctly. But I would take some sort of action or make some sort of input so that it comes from me, which is then used to generate the entropy here. The difference being is that's sorry. Go ahead.
I think that it's a very delicate point, and it's better you understand exactly what you're doing if you want to try this feature. Because it's very easy to hurt yourself here.
No, I'm going to disagree here. So it's been designed. So I've designed this so far, and it's been created so that anyone can use it, and there won't be really a way to mess it up. So essentially, the idea is that in order to generate a private key that no one else can guess, I suppose is the best way to phrase this, is you need a random number to start with. You need some kind of entropy to start this process. Now, at the moment, we are using a cryptographically secure pseudo-random number generator. But of course, this is a pseudo-random number generator. So there could be a bug in this pseudo-random number generator. It's not ours. We're using an existing library for this. There could be a bug. There could be anything that's going on, which means this isn't as secure as someone might hope. And also, arguably, it can give you peace of mind that we are not tampering with this pseudo-random number generator. So the idea is that people will be able to opt into this. They will provide some user input. We will randomize that user input, and we will then combine that with a cryptographically secure random number to generate a new seed phrase. So the idea being, you have not only this cryptographically secure random number, but also the user input. So you have randomness from two separate sources. So if there's bias in one of them, it's cancelled out.
Okay, that's interesting.
By the other one. Yeah. So overall, basically, hedging against this, a potential error, backdoor, whatever it may be in the pseudo random number generator here by having something that the user themselves inputs as well.
Exactly. It's almost a backup. So by getting it from two
Yeah,
sources,
sure.
we minimize the chance of there being an issue.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. So that's the next big feature that's coming. And I've seen sort of the internal roadmap when it comes to Mojito. We've got a lot more interesting features coming, particularly as we lead up towards the launch of the mainnet and so forth as well. So that's great to hear, guys, and lots more happening with Mojito in the future. Moving on, let's talk about the core development, because I know that there's been a lot of stuff going on there. Ben, do you have this list in front of you here? I wonder whether it's perhaps easier for you to sort of take us through. So let's start at the top. The work on the accounting system, for example.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you mentioned the accounting system. So we introduced this, I think, in the last update, but there's been a lot more work on this. The accounting system is going to be quite a big part of the proof of stake. So the idea is we're going to paste staking rewards into an accounting system so we avoid UTXO pollution. So we don't have all of these UTXOs appearing at once. So one reason behind this is we have introduced the idea of staking pools so that people who don't have the 50,000 MLT required to stake can still get involved in staking on Mintlayer.
For example, if I have some friends and I only have like 100 MLT, I can pool together with my friends, and together we can reach the threshold so that we actually can run a pool and stake our MLTs.
Yep, and they don't even need to be your friends.
This is exciting.
Yep.
Excellent. Yeah, that's fantastic.
So what this will mean, though, is that you might have thousands of people in a stake pool. So when the rewards are being paid out, we might suddenly have 1,000 UTXOs to pay all these people with the staking rewards. And we don't especially want thousands of UTXOs appearing in a block for just to pay the staking rewards when people are meant to be using this for normal transactions. So the idea is we extract that away into the accounting system, and then when people want to use those rewards, they can create a transaction to remove their reward from the accounting system into the normal UTXO system.
Okay. So basically lowering the traffic then on those blocks for people trying to claim those rewards. Yeah.
And we sort of spread it out a bit. So it means we don't have them all coming at once, which is, I think, the key thing that we're trying to avoid here. So we can handle it if it's spread out over a period of time, but all at once is just a bit of a nightmare to handle.
And this is the first step toward the programmable pools.
Yeah, so the accounting system will be a fundamental part of the programmable pools as well. So although we haven't started work on the programmable pools yet, the accounting system will be used for that as well. So we have, I suppose, arguably started the work, but the sort of infrastructural work on that as well, even if not formal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. So, and so, you alluded, sorry, before we move on, I just want to address this point. So you mentioned the programmable pools here. So do you want to just give a little bit of a context for people who haven't been through the roadmap for what they are and how they're sort of used in the within the framework of the project here?
In our current roadmap are pretty far from this point, and the idea of the programmable pool is to create an environment where you can deploy this smart contract the same way of other networks like Ethereum, for example, and you can match the same functionality of the other networks. Something that at the moment, if you only have script, Bitcoin script, you can not do everything. And so basically, it's a way to be compatible with the other networks.
Okay. Great. Excellent. Ben, sorry for cutting you off. I'll let you pick up the next point as well and take us through that.
Very cool. So we've been doing lots of small things in the background. So across lots of different subsystems that make up Mintlayer. So some of it is just cleaning up some code. Some of it is introducing new tests and testing things more thoroughly. Some of it is we're doing some small optimizations to make things more secure, a bit quicker, these sorts of things. So these cover things like the storage backend. So looking at the database side of things. Some of it's on the chain state and how we handle UTXOs and these sorts of things. There's also been a lot of work in the mempool recently. And this is going to be one of the big things over the next couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, well, month or so. There's going to be a lot of things going on in the mempool, as now the rest of the blockchain is starting to mature a bit more, and we can improve that and add the last remaining bits of functionality to it. Yeah. So lots of that is sort of abstracted away from the user base. So it's all kind of hidden in the background unless you go digging through the code. They're not things that will be overly obvious to a user in the future.
Okay.
So yeah, sort of the gritty details in the background. I think the most exciting thing from a sort of user perspective that has happened in the last month is we've finally merged MLS 01s. So these are the tokens that fill the same niche as an ERC20 on Ethereum. So these are the sort of standard tokens, normal tokens, whatever nomenclature you like. They're finally merged. So we finished the testing of them and they are done.
Congratulations. Great. That's a 1 of 3. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And what a monster effort to finally get those up and live. So well done, guys.
Yeah. So it means we can now start focusing on MLS 03s a bit more, which are the NFTs. So the planning work for those is finished at this point, and the development work is underway. So over the next month or so, that will be the focus of the token work.
Yeah.
Easier, right? So part of the implementation is already there.
I mean, I suppose they are arguably a superset of standard tokens to some extent.
Yeah.
So you could argue some work has already been done, but there are also some messier details when it comes to NFTs and handling the data they store and these sorts of things. So calling them easy is questionable.
Easier.
Yeah, but yeah.
Cool. Okay. And of course, we have a and this is significantly further down the roadmap, but the MLS2 tokens, which are the security tokens, which are quite a ways off at this point. But just for the sake of completeness, because we've jumped from 1 to 3, and I just want everyone to know that
really wait as well. We can't wait to start working on that, actually.
Yeah. So realistically, they are a long way down the roadmap at this point. So
of course,
the roadmap has essentially been laid out so that we can build the essential features of Mintlayer first, and then these sort of nice, cool features like MLS 02s come a bit later. So we've got lots of the more fundamental bits to build first, like the atomic swaps and integration with Lightning Network and things like this.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So on the core front, there's been obviously lots going on. There's nothing else that's necessary to mention here, Ben, before we sort of jump into what's next?
No, let's go on to what's next.
Okay, cool. So we've got we're as of tomorrow, we're moving into the next quarter. So that, of course, brings with it a whole bunch of new targets for the roadmap. So specifically, the stuff on the roadmap, we are looking to launch the Lovelace testnet. Any projections? Yeah, that's probably going to take the whole quarter, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, exactly. And this is a huge thing. It's like actually setting up all the, making sure that everything is secure. There's a lot of testing going on. There's a lot of stuff. So it's this is the biggest thing you're working on.
But quite exciting too, because once we have the testnet, this is when people can start to, this is when we can really start to, people can come and begin building on Mintlayer effectively, right? So it's a massive milestone.
Yeah. Obviously, also, the rest is part of the same thing, because the stuff that is here, like the full node release candidate is exactly happen at the same time, right? So when you launch the testnet, obviously you have to define what is the version of the node that you want to run it, and we will obviously provide users the binaries, so Linux, Windows, and Mac. And we already have MLS 01 in, and obviously the testnet will have MLS 03. The biggest thing that is actually ongoing, as we already said, that is other than testing and making sure everything is correct, is the proof of stake implementation.
Sure. Great. So lots to do. It's going to be yet another busy quarter here at Mintlayer, but there's some exciting stuff to look forward to. And personally, I can't wait to see what people are going to build when it comes to getting this testnet live. And then
because a lot of people reaching out and they want to build stuff, so we already have some ideas.
We have some people who've already come to us, with projects and so forth. And for those of you who are listening, if you are interested in building on Mintlayer, please do get in touch with us. We'd love to have a chat and to see how you can build your next project on Mintlayer. Of course, you will be able to do that in most instances from the launch of the testnet. So certainly get in touch with us. We'd love to see how we can help and bring your ideas to life on Mintlayer.
Also, can I ask, if you are a developer and if you are a good Rust developer and you know about blockchain, we are hiring. We need people.
You beat me to it. I was just about to jump into that. So yes, of course. So we are hiring. It's kind of worst kept secret here, but we've got a bunch of open positions on the website and things that we are looking for. So Rust developers. What else from the technical perspective, guys? Who are we looking for? Who would be the great people to join us? Join the team.
The most important figure that we need at the moment is help on the core team. We have 3 open positions for people that knows Rust very well and also understand blockchain technology. So someone that already have experience in blockchain is ideal. Obviously, there's stuff that there are many things that we are working on, so we can move people around, but ideally knowledge of what we are building is very helpful.
Of course. And so in addition to that, we always have a number of different positions. We never stop hiring here. So the best way to do that is jump onto the mintlayer.org website. Up in the top menu, under the join section, there's an open positions page where you see what we're looking for and give you the ability to sort of apply directly in there. So we would love to hear from you. We're always looking for A players to join the team here and to help us bring our vision to life here as well. Cool. All right. Anything else before we wrap up from you guys?
No, it's here in Abu Dhabi. It's an awesome day. We are spending our day, unfortunately, inside an office, but it's good to be here together, and we hope to do it more frequently. But I mean, from the if there's any question that people wants to ask us, we feel free. We are on Telegram. We are mostly on Telegram. Just send them question in
copy questions into Telegram. Yeah, and we'll get them answered for you as well.
Exactly.
But look, I don't want to keep you guys any longer. I know that you've got a stack of stuff to go through, but thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I'll let you get back to working on the important stuff. But just to sort of round things out, for those of you who've joined us on the call today, thank you again for being here and for your continued support and interest in Mintlayer. Don't forget to spread the word. Follow us on Twitter. Keep the conversation going on Telegram. Invite your friends. And if you think that you would be a good person to join the team, please do get in touch. Ben, Enrico, thank you so much for your time. And
thank you.
I thank you and look forward to catching up somewhere in the world with you again in the future. For those of you at home, have a fantastic day. Have a great weekend. And we'll look forward to chatting to you again soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Cheerio.